in Beijing, China. She did her PhD in epidemiology at the Chinese National Center for AIDS, STD Control and Prevention of the Chinese CDC, Disease Control and Prevention. She also has an MD from Tong Medical University and an MS in Child and Adolescent Health from the Institute of Child and Adolescent Health at Peking University. So she's got a number of different universities that she's been affiliated with over time. But she's also formerly associate professor at the institute that she got her PhD, and also has been a national technical officer for the World Health Organization China representative. So we welcome you here. We're very pleased to have you here. I'm going to let you speak about your research.
Thank you. Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm going to present my research in China at the moment. And over the past few years, I tried to focus on the HIV prevention among men who have sex with men. I try to speak slowly because my speed of speaking is always get very faster. So you have to follow. So maybe the first slides I want to introduce you that where is China standing in global HIV epidemic? According to UNAIDS 2013 GAP report, global AIDS report, that China bears 2% of the whole HIV AIDS burden in the world. And our United States, 4%. And so China is standing on the top 15 countries. And the top one is the South Africa. And in China, men who have sex with men bears disproportionately of the rise of HIV incidence in China. This picture shows that MSM among the key populations on the top, the prevalence is about 7.7 according to the 2013 estimation. And the people who inject drug use, the prevalence is about 6%. So for the former sex worker, the female sex workers is 0.2%. And this another slide also shows the prevalence increase. This figure is an unpublished figure from the National Sentinel Surveillance System from China. And MSM is the light blue line. It keeps going up. The dark blue line is for the people who inject drug use. It's already steadily going down the trend very clearly. And left for the pregnant women and female sex workers, STD clinics, and long-distance truck drivers. These are the index populations in China. Most of them are still very stabilized. So not a huge story of HIV epidemic, but MSM is the unique one. So I'm going to present here about two studies in China currently. The first one is based on my national scientific research fund, APP-based HIV Risk Alerts for drive safer behavior in internet social networks of men who have sex with men. I have over the past few years, according to my observation and also the literatures, the online social networking brings convenience of aggregation of HIV transmission risk because like in US, we have Grindr, the app. Any one of you heard about Grindr? Yeah, very easy for dating and very quick, very convenient. And in China, we also have a few very famous and with huge big data set. One of them is Blood, another is Zack, but unfortunately Zack was closed last year. And Mom is a different social networking. It's not a really MSM or gay semi network, but for heterosexual dating app. And but today I'm going to introduce you that I'm collaborating with the Yiyou app. Yiyou app is a zero-sorting app. So later I will provide more information on that. I think it will bring riskier, faster, and more mutation transmission, because in the past, most of the Chinese gay, they rely on the park. They go to the sauna place and the massage place, the parlor, and these kind of things. They can get. They have without this app, just an app. They have to go to the actual place to booking or to find their favorite sex partner. So they have you can imagine and can assume the efficiency is less efficient than the online social networking, because we just move the fingers to get a partner. And previously we found the internet-derived social network was the main approach for seeking sexual partner among MSM. Then we investigate whether this finding could be the basis for designing a targeted interventions. And then we provide the second hypothesis. The GSN applications are a viable option for use in during targeted intervention to MSM. So yes, kindly sort of this can provide more and more convenience for dating, but we can also make good use of this kind of information channels to deliver our information, the key information for prevention. And this is the app Yiyou. I want to introduce that. Unfortunately, it's Chinese, and it has a few functions. This is for checking the status of the partner, and for checking the inquiry the data status of his own. And then this is the whole list of the friends in cell phone contact and the peoples in the surroundings. So with the because this app connected with the GPS. Yeah, GPS. Sorry for my German. So we are using a risk predicting model via analysis of library space to capture the high-risk clusters in the online social network. This modeling is based on HIV zero-sorting, risky behavior, and dating frequency in order to detect high-risk persons who must be potential HIV transmitters. And with the mobile Yiyou zero-sorting dating app, we have been surveying and HIV test 2,000 million participants, and all HIV positive specimens will be further analyzed with high throughput sequencing to detect HIV subtype and drug resistance mutations.
If I could just understand,
yeah.
So they actually identify whether they're HIV positive or HIV negative on the app. Is that correct?
Yeah, let maybe I need to first clarify this. This is Yiyou APP actually. If they want, for example, if I want to test HIV, then I will contact this Yiyou APP. Is actually a committee, so-called we call the community-based organizations, and I can request a rapid test case from this company, and I will give, for example, 100 yuan to buy this. Actually, not really buy. Once you report, you can share this test result. I will return the money back for testing. And also, if you use this Yiyou APP, you can check. Always, you can show other people. See, this is my result, testing result. And before you use this system, we have provided informed consent that if you agree, share the contact list with other people for the later the companies to check the HIV status. Then we can go ahead. So people have to kind of to compromise their privacy with the system, and including the contact list, and then they get the further convenience for dating. You know why? Because most of the Chinese gay, they didn't come out. So generally they have two mobile phone number, two cell numbers. One is for the public use, including with their contact with their families. But another they can only use for the dating, suppose. So the two cell numbers including different contact lists. So we have a perception that most of the contacts attached to this mobile phone numbers is their gay friends or MSN partner. So that's the once they agree to use the DPP, later they can forever get a free test the rapid test kits for free HIV test, for free syphilis test, and also can always check the testing result with others. So for example, next time when I'm dating with people that I can show you the result. See, because they can send a message and a short text to the Yiyou APP, then Yiyou will spontaneously send back. Somebody else is checking your HIV. Is that you agree to respond this test result? Then if he says yes, then the information will be shared with him or the people who inquiry him. So, any question?
So many.
So many. But it's okay. It's okay. Just feel free to ask.
So, I mean, I don't know if you know how the apps tend to work here. There is some CIRA status sharing, but it's much more open.
Yeah.
You don't have to request and then get a ping back or anything.
No, because some people will think it's a kind of privacy protecting. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. If you don't allow people to know your HIV status, then they won't give. They even won't inquire us. They won't provide this such information to them.
When you say their information, are there names or just
not real name? Attach this self numbers, HIV status. Yeah. The self numbers is the unique tagger for this HIV test and syphilis test.
And so, do you know whether users of the app rely on that testing information when they're making condom use decisions?
Good question. Later we will address this because we are trying to develop such a model to send alert because in the past we always use the fixed data set to build a sex risk modeling. But actually, in the future, we want to establish some collaboration with your colleagues here to to the data mining is because the data set become huge and huge. And so we can use the tool actually to establish the timely learning. For example, I'm one of the users. If I among my contacts, there are more and more people get infected with HIV or syphilis, or there are more people get increase the frequency of sexual partner seeking, or and don't use condom, then my risk, HIV risk, infection risk will be increased very quickly, and so I will get alert that you will be very dangerous or get infected. So this is the next time. This is the next step we are going to developing this kind of. Any more question? Okay, we move on. So this model, we are trying to build this model is based on HIV serosorting. And based on HIV risk clustering characteristics, we expect to develop an integrated information strategy to that harmonize the APP users' interest and information needed to generate an innovative way of HIV preventive information dissemination by personalized APP push. The identified highest risk persons will be recruited and mobilizing to disseminate information on how to use HIV testing and adherence to antiviral therapy. We are seeking to inform policymakers of the utility of personnel internet adaptive information to reduce the alarmingly high HIV incidence rate on SSL. So basically, the users of this APP is actually naturally come up with a cohort, and no matter they get HIV infected or not, they belong to different cohort. One is HIV negative cohort, another is HIV positive cohort. So later we can start some collaboration and for better use of this data. So one component of the Yiyou dating APP is that the person can self-select partners on knowing of serial status, and using self number, users could browse without himself and dating partners with compromised consent. So we will work on a new HIV risk sorting model to provide a timely risk alert to APP users that highlights potential risk in a given proposed sexual relation, reminding users to use condoms, especially with partners at high risk. Such modeling is under building. We also seek to respond to the concerns of government, especially for the Ministry of Health and the Commission of Health, National Commission of Health, regarding the MSM college students who incur risk of HIV acquisition while sexual liaisons with non-students, who are usually older, because in China, unlike in USA, that the college education is quite common. In China, it's still called the so-called elite education. So the percentage of the people get higher advanced education is quite limited. So each of them, one of them get HIV infected, is kind of a tragedy, and it will incur a big discussion over in the university and in the society. So HIV still have barely disproportional stigma and discrimination. So they also want to address such long concern. Then I present some preliminary findings of this social network on college students. So this Yiyou APP is quite a young APP. It only started recently, 2 or 3 years. And this is the heat map of the all Yiyou APP users distribution. You can see this is the northeast part of China. This is where the developer, the company is based in. So most users come from the northeast the part of the China. So like Heilongjiang province. So this community-based organization also get permission with collaboration with Heilongjiang Provincial CDC, which means it has been authorized that they can get some kinds of collect such information for serious status. That's why we can start up this kind of APP dispenser. And for the course, like I want to show you this college, college students so they're working hard, for example. Okay. Oh my gosh. So this condition doesn't look very well. Oh, I want to show you that this figure. This figure is developed by Yifei. Originally, I want to show you because with Yifei system, when I click each dot, it's very easy to just show its own cluster. For example, if I have sex with Jan and Cynthia, then only that two with this system. Then this picture will only be shining with this small cluster. So rather than the full one, this is for the college students. Each dot you present one person. But unfortunately, the graphics and don't work well here. And in the whole system, we cannot. I don't know why. Or maybe. So,
Do you want to
we go back.
go back to the slides?
Yeah. Okay. So, originally I planned, for example, this slide red is that for the HIV positive students, and for the pink one is the HIV positive social counterpart. They are not student identity. They are not students. So all this classification we actually use because the users who consent to use this APP, they are also consent to share their GPS information. According to the GPS information, we select we identify who are students or not. So for since the game doesn't work, so I just show you a small thing. For the dot, these don't share their contact list. So so we don't show their networking system. But for the central ones, the decentral, they are connected together. So through different contacts.
It looks like most of the positive students did not share their information.
Yeah,
It's very
right. Yes, you are very smart. We actually later we want to focus more on these kind of things. Maybe later we can, because we already starting the offline survey. So later maybe once they get into the recruitment, maybe they will share more information with us. Yes, you are right that most of the because the HIV positive students they are not so many, but most of them didn't share their contact list. Yes. So this is the basic description for the degrees. The degree means that, for example, if I have 3 contests, then I might have the degree as 3. This includes the in-degree and out-degree. In-degree means that people come to me, only come to me, but I didn't come to him. This in-degree. If I come to him, then I have 1 out-degree. So degree is the general degree is including the out-degree and in-degree. It's kind of am I understood? It's kind of connection. For example, if I tend to run, maybe approach run, but I'm not run type. He never get contact with me. But I have 1 out degree to run, but run have 1 in degree. But she doesn't have no interest in me. Then she no out degree with me. That's the social network, the degree, and this is the features description. The mean degree is, for example, HIV positive social counterpart degree is 1.36, and the SD is quite broad. It's almost 5, and the mean from 0 to 69. Yes, quite huge. So you can see the size in the earlier graph that because the graph doesn't work in the graph so you can see the different size of dots means they have different degree. The higher degree the dot larger. So it's versatile. So we calculate HIV positive social contact in degree, positive social contact out degree, and negative social contact degree, and negative in degree and out degree. So also quite some people, the students, their status is unknown, which means that they never get tested. And not really they get tested, but they never share the contact list with us. So, and this is we developed a both-step diagram for the degree of the graph of coincidence and social network. So, more dots shows that they higher degree, and they have negative social contact. They have negative students. They have positive social contact. They have positive students. And no status. This, for example, the green line is median, and this is AQR from 25 percentile to the 75 percentile. And this another picture for the characteristic of the social network and degree students. We calculated with the non-parametric rank sum test. The yellow lines means statistically safe, while the black not significant statistically. So the figures attached means the rank in the whole degree in the whole network, and you can see the bigger rank is if they have a huge networking, the ranks is quite huge. And this is the whole MSM social network of Yiyou users in the young progress. Not only including the college students, but including every people, including social counterpart. This is also developed by Yifei. But unfortunately, Yifei doesn't work today, so I need to switch back to show the difference. And you can see there's some dots a little bit larger, which means they have a huge amount of the degrees contacts with others. So we we give them identity as non-drug users, L drug users, and unknown status, recent drug use, HIV negative, recent HIV infection, and HIV positive, L positive. The recent HIV infection means that last time we tested him is negative, but this time we tested is positive. Then we regard it as a recent HIV infection. So this the descriptive statistical MSM supernatural degree. You can see the number is quite huge, that the mean from the students is 1 point something, increased to the 5.4. So and also the standard deviation is quite huge, and which means that it's not really a normal distribution. And the mean from 1 to 97, and the IQR is from 2 to 5. And this is the box diagram of this social degree. And this degree, integer and out degree. For the social part, for the whole picture, you can see the ranks is quite huge. In the early slide, you can see the 200 something, but this already increased to 2,000 something. So it's really huge. And we are collaborating with the 4 community-based organizations in Harvey, the North. I use the yellow arrows to mark the address in the Harvey and Qingdao. That's my hometown. Ever heard about the Qingdao beers? Yeah, that place. It's a coastal city. And another is Anhui province, the Hefei, the capital of Anhui province, Hefei, and in the Changsha. You can see that in the past, the heat map is not so dramatic, but later, along with we started conducting the offline survey. More and more people get noticed about this APP Yiyou APP, and next time when I report to you, maybe the heat map will change dramatically, and will generate more heat dots. So, and this is the testing, the rapid test picture, and this is the counseling picture from different sites. This is my first study, and I'm going to share with you another ongoing study that we had an MSM prospective open cohort study from 2011 through 2020, and I would like to share with you some preliminary findings from 2011 through 2016. And the study was conducted in Beijing Jingcheng 皮肤病医院 in the Jingcheng Mineral Disease Hospital. It's a private hospital. In the past, Dr. Stone ever collaborated with me, and we conducted a few NIH-funded projects. And here is one of the key sites in Beijing. So it served as a voluntary counseling and testing site. The patients were recruited in 3 ways. First, people who came to the clinic for regular HIV testing and counseling or had ever participated in similar program were encouraged to participate in this study. And second, the patients who were recruited through the advertisement on website of a non-government AIDS volunteer organization provide information on HIV testing and counseling. Third, patients were encouraged to introduce their gay partner to gay friends to join the study. So the selection criteria is being 18 years older, the 18 or older male, and having had sex with them in the past 6 months, previously HIV negative, or unaware of HIV infection status, willing to take self-administered questionnaire survey and rapid test for HIV and syphilis, and willing to participate and able to provide written informed consent. This is a picture from the local site that we use a pet to conduct the survey, and if they met our selection criteria, then we'll enter the CSI system to start conducting the self-administered survey. Those who don't meet the criteria and were referred to the VCT clinic, participants signed informed consent and was assigned a unique survey number by trained interviewers, then complete a self-administered electronic questionnaire with a Gmail function. And we will provide listeners receive a confidential HIV pre-test counseling and rapid test on HIV and syphilis, respectively. And interviewers inform the result and provide the post-test counseling. 2 follow-up visits were made on 3 months and 6 months after baseline, and follow-up questionnaire were completed, and HIV syphilis rapid tests were repeated. Each person will give up to 200 yuan, approximately around $2 for transportation compensation in total upon completing 2 follow-up with survey and testing. So in total, we recruited 3,233 people participants enrolled in 6 baseline surveys over the past 6 years. Among them, 948, 4.6 were HIV positive, and 18.9 were syphilis positive. You can see the syphilis and HIV prevalence among MSM in Beijing from 2011 to 2016. I made some revision, but it doesn't happen. I don't know why. So this is the syphilis line, and the first year is quite high, 26 up to is alarmingly high. So and it's quite stable. It's 80 something. So for syphilis, for the HIV prevalence is among 5.6, 6.5 to 4.6. It's slightly lower than the HIV signal surveillance in Beijing. The signal surveillance Beijing, the prevalence result is around 8% or 3.5. And because this kind of is mostly self-driven, they want to join this placement, this voluntary placement, this kind of research. Most of them are quite young compared to others, and it makes sense that the prevalence shows a little lower than the average MSM.
And the rate of syphilis, the prevalence of syphilis, is that higher than you would have expected based on the surveillance in the area?
For the syphilis is almost the same. You know that almost, but for HIV is lower than the signal surveillance. Compared to other places, maybe this figure is not that high, but it's serious. And also in the past, among the people who inject drug users, the HCV prevalence is astonishingly high. It's almost up to 60 to 90% of the HCV infection, because through the drug transmission is more efficient. And a total of 3,085 HIV negative persons were enrolled, and 2,509, almost 80% for follow-up for 3 months, and 577 were lost, including file records with missing questionnaire. 2,236, 32.5 were followed up for 6 months, and 849 were lost. This slide is on syphilis and HIV seroconversion rate among MSM in Beijing. This cohort that we can see the syphilis. The syphilis, we cannot see the really incident because we just compared during his enrollment at baseline, he must be negative. Under we use the TPPA, the test kit is more like the prevalence test, and because the RPR shows a more recent infection, but the TPPA is more like a confirmatory test. But for the easy operation, we use the TPPA rapid test kit, and compared with last time, they are negative, and this time the next follow-up are positive, then we regard it as a seroconversion. That the seroconversion is not that optimistic. You can see it's still quite high. And for HIV, according to we calculate according to 100% years, so the figure is not so good. It's also very high, I think, because like the 3.91 or 4 something, the incidence is quite high. So that's the reason when we get back to the remember the first slide that the line keep going up. This is the reason. And for the HIV seroconversion rate, you can see that each year we have some seroconversion cases and follow-up years, and if we calculate incidence rate for 100 years and the positive cases and the prevalence. And this syphilis seroconversion rate, the same calculations. And this study was supported in part by the China National Scientific Fund Commission for Development of Intervention based on HIV hybrid transmitters. I'm the PI of this study. So the ground number is like this. And this is my team, my 2 master candidate students, and these are our collaborating partners, Heilongjiang Kangtong community and based organizations. Actually, the main developer of this Yiyou app, and another degree. This is Qingtong Social Service Center, who's from Qingdao. This the local, the offline survey implementers. Okay, and this is Hefei, Momo from Hefei Risk Health Center, and this is Changsha, Zhongda Sunshine, we call it Zhongda Yangguang Social Work Center. So we are, the offline survey is ongoing, and we are also at the same time we use the public service accessible data like the other GSN DPP to access the profile data. And next time, maybe next step, are going to get some support from you that how can make good use of the data, because the other APPs use amount is huge. It's like more than 10 million registered, or even up to 20 million users. So we can together we can do more and develop building a better risk alert modeling. So it's a really dynamic model rather than use the fixed data, but we can keep practice the modeling and then really run modeling and to make it better fitted and more effective. So that's all. Thank you for your attention. Any questions? Well, we can have some more discussion.